We really thought we'd be done making Terran-themed builds in Helldivers, but we've gotten so many requests for a Marauder build, so you know what?
Let's do this. Digging in! What the hell are smithereens anyway? Frag 'em! Kaboom, baby!
We are the Sticky Bandits, and we're finding new and fun ways to play Helldivers all the time. We also play a bunch of other games, including some retro stuff, so if you want your Helldivers videos with a dash of variety, then go ahead and subscribe, and hit the bell to get notified when we post new videos. The Marauder essentially replaces the Firebat in StarCraft 2, but it serves a slightly different function in the Terran military. Where the Firebat excelled at dealing with hordes of smaller enemies like Zerglings, the Marauder is a certified tank killer and slower downer of melee units. Armed with dual grenade launchers, Marauders make short work of armored targets and chaff alike. Here's the build we've come up with to bring this hunk to Helldivers. Because the Marauder is a walking tank, we're leading off with heavy armor. I know, this is the best choice against the bugs, but we're going for lore accuracy here. We will be doing a lot of explosive damage, so one good option is the fortified passive for the explosive resistance. So then when you're blowing up bugs that get right up in your face, you'll resist some of that damage. The siege-ready armor is also really good here for more ammo and faster reloads, especially since our primary is going to be one with a lot of ammo, the Concussive Liberator. Marauders have a concussive shells upgrade that slows enemies, so this one just made sense. On our hip, we'll be rocking either the grenade pistol or the ultimatum because the Marauder is all about shooting grenades.
Yeah, I got all 5 fingers, 3 on this hand, 2 on the other one.
And for the utility, we'll pick up the stun grenade. This will allow us to make chargers and the like sit still facing away from us while we wail on them with the grenade launcher. I haven't really used this weapon much since its buffs recently, and it seems like it's a lot better than I remember. It does run out of ammo pretty fast, but the extra mag from the siege-ready passive helps quite a lot. Given the lack of bug hole closing options in the all-Terran team, this makes the Marauder a fantastic addition. If you want to try an M&M build for yourself, join our Discord to find like-minded Helldivers, link down in the description. For the rest of our stratagems, we're going to give our Marauder more tank-killing options, starting with the AT mines. These are great because they don't kill your team as often, and the cooldown is just right. Marauders, like the Marine, can hunker down in bunkers, so we're using the AT emplacement. If you haven't used this thing yet, then I'm going to ask you to never speak to me or my son again. It's unbelievably good. It shreds tanks, sure, but it has so much ammo that you can just shoot it at anything and not feel too bad about it. By the time you run out of rounds, it's off cooldown again. I cannot believe that this thing has not been nerfed in some way yet because it just feels so busted. And don't worry about Arrowhead seeing this, they don't watch our videos. Unless...
Where's the love?
For our final stratagem, we're going with a sustained barrage from our battlecruiser Gatling gun. It has a super low cooldown, so you can just toss this on any bug breach or bot drop or whatever and run away. It does have heavy pen, but if you throw it at bigger targets, it'll take 7 to 10 business days to kill, so I don't really recommend it. So how do we feel about the Marauder's combat effectiveness? Against medium and lower targets, the Marauder shreds. The grenade launcher kind of becomes your main weapon and is an underrated chaff killer. Anything that gets too close for your grenades can be pushed back into range or be pushed into your mines with your primary, and is actually kind of funny to do. Against larger targets, unless you have some distance to use your turret, the Marauder kind of struggles. The city streets are probably the most difficult places to run this build because a lot of your power is tied up in the turret. And while you can blow out a charger's back while they're stunned with your grenade launcher, Bile Titans and Lurkers prove to be problematic unless you have a round for your ultimatum. In general, ammo is a problem, so you might want to swap something out for the supply backpack. The mines are fairly ineffective against the spindly legs of the Bile Titans and the static nature of the Lurkers, but you can trigger them with your primary when needed. This can cause chain reactions that allow you to clear even more chaff on demand, but we found them to be pretty lackluster against the larger Zerg strains. Against the Protoss, this build has a lot of downsides. The AT mines are again dealing with spindly-legged walkers, and even if they do manage to step on them, they don't really reach the body to do much damage. The grenade launcher is lackluster in general on this front, as it doesn't do much damage to harvesters and is hard to use against the flying zealots. It does clear the chaff pretty well though. The Lib Concussive can one-tap Voteless with headshots, but it's pretty awful against shields due to its low damage and fire rate. The AT emplacement is still good here, but you are dealing with close quarter fights in many situations, so you have to be really smart about where you post up. On the bot front, we have kind of a similar story. Your primary is pretty bad. About the only enemy you ever want to use it on is the Berserkers, and even then, I would actually just recommend swapping it for the Dominator. I feel like that gun still fulfills the fantasy of the Marauder, but it's a significantly better weapon. The AT mines are probably at their most useful here because this is the only faction with actual tanks, but it does take care of hulks as well. The grenade launcher is good against devastators and lesser enemies, but you'll need your turret or the ultimatum to take on any of the bigger threats. Flying enemies are difficult to deal with here as well, as gunships take very little damage from grenades when you can manage to even hit them, so you'll just want to be in your turret as often as possible. The defense missions are where the Marauder really shine. Regardless of which faction you face, with the low cooldowns and a chance to set up, you can hold off enemy advances extremely well. We keep getting more suggestions for other Terran videos, so if you want to see more of those, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We'll also be starting regular live streams, and you can get notified when we go live by ringing the bell. We're planning on doing Thursday nights to start, and we'd love to see you there. We just enabled super chats and memberships, so if you want to support the work we do here, consider giving us a couple dollars once a month so we don't have to rob the McAllisters anymore. Did you know we have a Discord channel? It's always been there in the description, and if you want to find like-minded players who want to try weird builds and play for fun, then come on in. Water's fine.